Hello, this is Giverson Maina Live. My name is Giverson Maina. You call it GML. Today, we have guest on the set, Shabana Tembea, Kelvin from Emanyuri, Kakamega, and of course, yet a new analyst for us today, still on the set, is Shadrach Avogwe. Now, many things have happened during the week or in the recent past. Jubilee and NASA seems to be intimidating the courts and also the IEBC. What NASA are asking the IEBC is, to sit down with other politicians and agree on the company to print ballot papers. But the question today we are asking is, should they sit down and agree on the tender? For example, is it good for a teacher and a student to sit down and agree on the kind of questions to be asked in the examination room? That is the question. The GML starts now. Avogwe, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
And Shaban, of course, welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Now let's begin. The big question we're asking today, should teachers and pupils or students sit down and agree on the questions to be asked during exams? Why is NASA? NASA wants to sit down with other politicians and agree which company will print, the ballot papers. Is that right? Let's start with you.
That's not right. As a matter of fact, I would say that the Constitution has given the judiciary the mandate of translating the Constitution, and at the same time, the Constitution is the voice of the people, or rather the will of the people. So I think that verdict that the High Court gave out, I think it's the will of the people.
Shaban, what are your reactions according to NASA?
First of all, let's acknowledge that for the first time, judiciary has tried to resonate with the ordinary Kenyans, whereby it has to do whichever decision it would like to give out, it must be for the favor of the common man. So I think what we need to do, let's try to improve our style of respecting the public agency. It's not a must that whichever decision that is being undertaken, it has to favor you. Because I think when you go through chapter 1 of the Kenyan Constitution, it says that the public is more greater than an individual. So if actually the decisions that were made on Friday were done for the best of the voters, let's respect it and move on.
The mandate of IBC, is it the work of whose mandate is to print, to look for a company to print, the ballot papers? Is it the political parties, or is it IBC?
Okay, it is the mandate of the IEBC, but if you look closely, the IEBC will be responsible for the outcome of the election. So they have to solve any issue that may rise right now, like that one of the presidential ballot papers. They have to solve that issue once and for all before we go to the elections to avoid havocs afterwards.
What the court ruled, the other day, they said, the court didn't block, the Al Ghurair company from printing the presidential ballot papers, but they said, IBC did not follow the procurement the laws properly as far as public participation is concerned. But now the question is, this public participation, the parties, IBC has to call, every candidate, presidential candidate, to come and sit down and perhaps maybe agree. But it is not necessarily to agree, to appoint one company to print. So what NASA are saying today is that, they won't accept Al Ghurair. They want, another different company. And Jubilee has said it won't sit down to agree because that is not their work. It is the work of the IBC. Shaban.
It's true. Actually, that's the work of the IBC because it's the body that has been mandated by the Constitution to conduct and also manage all the elections in this country. So this one involves also the procurement process about the materials that are going to be used in the electioneering, which is actually, that one is their constitutional right. But actually what the court did say, it was very clear that Al Ghurair, it was not a factor here. But a factor is now the procedures, just the way you have said. Yeah. Are you getting that point? And I think you can remember when the NASA raised that question, when they were saying that there was some friendship or there was some linking between the Al Ghurair, the company of printing, and the family of Kenyatta. And remember, Kenyatta is one of the participants in this year's election, isn't it? So it's like they assumed there was a conflict of interest there. And that's why now the court decided to do what? It was decided now to bring that process back. But we cannot say that Al Ghurair should not be given the tender. Yeah. The only thing that the court is trying to say is that if the right procedure could be followed, Al Ghurair is also one of the companies that might win this tender.
NASA have come out clearly to say Al Ghurair should not be allowed to print the ballot papers.
Okay, their claims were that the Al Ghurair company were to print more presidential ballot papers, of which that made them to cry foul play. I think
why should they be blocked from printing the presidential ballot papers and continue printing the others?
Because initially the NASA coalition cried foul play that the company was to print more ballot papers. So I think the IBC should have considered that point and sit down and try to resonate with the both sides of on the way forward.
But the court never ruled that way, that Al Ghurair is a friend of Kenyatta. The court never said that. So if at all Al Ghurair wins that tender again, if they go to retendering and Al Ghurair wins the tender, will NASA accept that?
Oh, that's where now the problem is. But I think the IBC itself should not try to circumvent the law. Because remember, immediately after the court had ruled out that the Al Ghurair was not eligible to be given the tender of printing the presidential ballot papers, immediately the IBC did what? It went to appeal. It appealed that case. So I assume, considering the number of days that we are remaining with before we hit on the 8th of August, I would have advised the IBC to concentrate on other issues rather than being in court today and outside. Are you getting that point? But also what the opposition coalition is trying to do is right. I would rather complain prior to election rather than complaining after it. Because actually the predicament that come after the election, I think they are more tougher as compared to when they can be able to complain before the elections. And constitutionally, they are right. So let's try to sort this out soberly. But where you try to bring in an issue to do with the conflict of interest, whereby the sympathizers of the Jubilee, they are saying that the Al Ghurair should be given a nod to go on and print these ballot papers. Yeah. At the same time, the desperate defenders of oppositions, they are saying, oh, look here, Al Ghurair should not be given this tender. So here, those who are in between, suppose maybe you are aligning with the third way alliance or even the Abdul Bradidas coalition. So it means there we have just remained at our political limbo. So let us try to do these things away from either from the NASA or from the Jubilee. The nation is so greater than any of these political coalition, keeping in mind they normally come and go even before the end of 5 years.
But remember, Avugwe, it's only 26 days to elections. Only 26 days to 8th of August. We don't have ballot papers up to today as we speak. We don't have. What should we do?
Okay, I agree that this issue has bring a lot of realignments in the political front in Kenya, but I think the IBC should be in the forefront to solve this case in an amicable way, so that the results of the elections should be fair.
Do we have time to still print? Al Ghurair have said if they were to be given that tender, they should have 12 days. 12 days, and today we have 26 days, and still these presidential candidates, they have not agreed on anything at all.
You see, Giverson, where we are getting interesting side of story from the IBC is very simple. How comes they are crying for to be given a chance to go on and bed with the Al-Ghurairi. Yet, even here locally, we can still be able to print this ballot paper.
No.
So
No.
let us try now to reason for the betterment of the nation. But if the IBC, it's there, it's crying, because you can see, taking that case to the Court of Appeal, it says that either you go right, left, and the center, the Al-Ghurairi remains to be given the tender, which is not right. As I've told you, even you can remember during the party nominations, we did not go and print those ballot papers in Dubai. So let's just come back and fight for the betterment of the nation. But if the IBC tries to show some signs as though it also, there is also a way that it gets a stake when the Al-Ghurairi is being given this tender, and also when the brigade of the Jubilee, actually they feel so irritated when somebody says that, oh, Al-Ghurairi should not be given this tender to print the presidential ballot papers. That one shows that there is something fishy which is going on. In other words, let the Chebukatis of this world get back to their offices and reason and know why they were given that responsibilities to be the overseers of the election.
But you know, IBC Shaban is a constitutional body, is an independent body. It's just like judiciary. It's an independent body.
It is true.
You know, the court, you know, and NASA and Jubilee should let IBC do its own job.
No, Giverson, you are missing a point. Let's get to Article 10 of the Kenyan Constitution. It says that the nation or each public agency, it should safeguard the national values. And one of the factors of the national values, I think, is transparency. They have to do anything on transparency. Are you getting my point?
I'm getting a point,
Yeah,
but the problem was, you know, the court said the only problem IBC had is only that they never considered public participation. You know, like call everybody, you know, call stakeholders, you know, call, you know, presidential candidates and tell them this is what I'm going to do. It's only that. Otherwise, they were right. IBC.
The IEBC, they were not right to appeal that case, because they are appealing that case alongside the backup of the Jubilee brigade. Yeah, because the other day, Aden Duale, Kithure Kindiki, and who else? They had a press conference where they gave many allegations where they were connecting. They were claiming that family relationship ties played a key role in that ruling.
We'll come to that. We'll come to that. But let's answer this question. You know, what if these candidates fail to agree with the IBC on the way forward to go as far as printing of ballot papers is concerned? What if they fail to agree?
You see, Giverson, it's so amazing. I think it's less than 8 months since we had given the power to the new commission, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the problem is, after days are going, when we are nearing the election hearings, most of the Kenyans are losing the trust with the IBC. Something I think which they should desist from it. By doing what? You see, in the way they are acting, it suggests that even themselves, they don't have a goodwill to have a credible elections. Because I think they are the one who are wasting time. For instance, you're saying that they need at least 12 days, isn't it?
The Al-Ghurairi.
If the Al-Ghurairi, before they had completed what? Before they complete what?
12 days to print everything.
Okay,
all
look
the
here.
papers.
The IBC, after the court rule of Friday, it did immediately. It ran to the court of the Court of Appeal. Yeah. And the way you know our system, the systems of our court do work. They are very slow. They move at total pace, isn't it? So it means even themselves, they are the one who are dragging this issue. Because if you take it now to the court, you have to wait for more days before they do what? Before they make a final decisions. So I would advise them, let's just pick it where the court has left it, and we try to look for the ways we can print. I think this thing is not as big as we're trying to magnify it. It's very simple.
True, you know, but I'm asking, what if the candidates fail to agree on the way forward?
They will not fail to agree.
They fail to agree. On Monday, you know, NASA brigadiers came and...
You see, Giverson, disagreeing does not mean there is no room for agreeing. By the way, we have to disagree.
But the problem is we don't have time. Do we have time?
Okay.
You know, to constitute all these meetings the whole week? We don't have time.
There is time basing the fact that the presidential ballot papers were to be printed as from 18th of this month.
Yeah.
So I think that shouldn't an issue.
And today is on 12th.
Yeah,
Days on 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, time shouldn't be a factor.
On 12.
Yeah, on this issue. Yeah, I think it will be solved in a right way, very early, which will not interfere with the elections date. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say there's hope. Let's say there's hope. You know, but Jubilee has said it will not sit down in that meeting to agree on which company should print, because that is not their job.
No, you see, I think they have perfected now the art of pretending. Remember, immediately after the court has ruled out that the Al Ghurair company wasn't eligible to take that tender, they were the first people to get where? They were the first people to get on the political rallies and castigate. To castigate Maragas and his team.
In fact, Jubilee has said, Jubilee have said, even the NASA can take that tender and continue printing.
No,
they don't care.
You see, another thing, I think they should be the same. They should be served as a good example, because this nation, we are looking at them. How are they behaving, inclusive of their supporters? Are you taking that point? So here I try to mean the Jubilee has a very vital role to show this nation how it should go, keeping in mind that is the Jubilee or is the coalition in ruling. Are you getting this? So if they say, remember what happened, the chair of the IBC actually called for a meeting with them so that they could sit down and find the way forward. So if they say that they are not ready to attend such a conference, then it means they are the one who are dragging us behind. Let them just subscribe to what the
Ekuru Okot and the company, they walked away. They walked out of the meeting.
So
Ekuru Okot.
then it means they are the one who are not ready to have an election, because I hate this point of pointing fingers and blaming one another. By the way, we cannot solve our problems if we keep on blaming one another. Let's admit that there is a problem somewhere, and then get back to the laboratory and to the library and find out the solution. That's how, as a nation, we're supposed to do.
Avugwe, if they come to the meeting and they don't agree, it doesn't mean that IBC should not go on with the process, right? If they come and they don't agree, Jubilee, IBC should go on.
Okay, I'm sure they will come to a consensus at the end.
You see, Giverson, there is something very interesting here. It is true we have the public agencies, and according to the Kenyan Constitution, each agency should stand to be independent, isn't it?
Yeah.
But that one does not close the window for jointly working together for the betterment of the nation. So here I mean the IBC should liaise with the judiciary, with the executive, and also other public institutions, so as to be able to make work to be easier with our goal of achieving the objectives of this nation. But we cannot let only one institution to work. We have to make sure that we work with them.
We support them.
That is true.
Not interfere their job.
We should not interfere.
Now let's go to a short break. And then we come back, we talk about, all these speculations going on, between, Judge Odunga is a relative of the other guy, and then who is the other judge? Mativo or the other guy?
Mativo.
And the other judge?
Somebody Ouko.
Somebody Ouko?
Yeah, somebody Ouko.
Is a relative or, I don't know, a cousin of, who?
Or for Rengo, they are claiming. Yeah, they are.
We'll say their names. Don't fear. Right after the break.